Hello, this is just a short video to introduce you to the Level 6 module Creativity in Education. I'll share a PowerPoint with you. So I'm just opening up my PowerPoint now. So Creativity in Education, we're just moving into semester 2 now. This is a Level 6 module. It's an optional module because you had a choice. You could join Creativity in Education or Educational Autobiography, and you've chosen to come and join me with Creativity in Education. Thanks for joining me. It's level 6, so everything you do this year is level 6. It's the equivalent of the third year of a 3-year undergraduate course. So if you are on the top-up course, everything you do is at level 6. And if you're in year 3 of the work-based or non-work-based courses, you are working at level 6. This module carries 20 credits. Most of the modules you do carry 20 credits. The only exception is project in the third year at level 6, and that's a 40 credit module or a double module, but this is a single module carrying 20 credits. I'm the module leader, and there is my email address if you want to contact me. Here's an overview of sessions. So we are starting next week. That's our first live session. That's on January the 28th. And then you can see an overview of the sessions that I'm going to cover over the next month and a half or so. You can see that we're going to be looking at the idea of a thematic approach to the curriculum, to delivering the curriculum in a thematic way. And I'll talk about that more in week 2. Don't worry about that now. I'm going to cover that in week 2. In week 3, I'm going to talk about the idea of a broad and rich curriculum. Again, don't worry about that now. I'm dealing with that on February the 11th. In your study week, the week of the 18th of February, I'd like you to do some thinking about a visit to somewhere outside the classroom. And I'll talk a little bit more about what I mean by the classroom when we start the module next week. Something outside the classroom which would enhance the experience of learners studying whatever it is you're planning to teach. March the 4th, I'll build on that idea of learning outside the classroom. March the 11th, we're thinking about promoting thinking in teaching and using questioning. March the 18th, I'm going to look at making links between theory and practice, and that's going to be a useful thing not only for this module but for any of your thinking in terms of thinking of your own experience or experience in the real world, if you like, and what you read about in books. So how you make a link between those two different areas, those two different spaces, the theoretical and the practical. And then on April the 11th, which is just before the Easter break, we're going to have a session on critical voice. So that's your critical voice. We're going to look back at the assignment again, and there will be the opportunity for you to have an assignment. Okay, sorry, an assignment tutorial. So the assessment, what have you got to do for this module? Well, it's a 3,000 word assignment. They've got 2 elements. You are going to produce a medium-term plan, and I'll give you lots of examples of what medium-term plans look like, and you are going to design your own medium-term plan, and that plan is 1,000 words equivalent. And just a reminder, that word equivalent means that you will put into that plan the same amount of effort that you put into a 1,000 word essay, but it doesn't have to have 1,000 words. It's about the effort. It's about the energy that you've got to put into the plan, not really about the number of words. We're just using the words as an indicator of how much energy, effort you have to put into the plan. So please try to understand that if your plan doesn't have 1,000 words, that's not a problem. The plan is all about the effort you put in. The commentary, on the other hand, and I'll talk about what a commentary is going to have 2,000 words, and I'll look at this in detail when we come to the first session. That's next week, and you've got the hand-ins there at the end of April or in the middle of May if you have a DDS arrangement which supports you by having 10 additional working days. Here are some things I'd like you to do before our first session. So the first thing is have a look at the key module guide, look at the assessment, and you'll find this in the creativity team space, and you can see there, if you just flick onto that, there is a live link there. I'm going to be sending this to you, this video to you via email with the PowerPoint attached, and you can go into the PowerPoint and get that direct link into the Teams space. So that's a hyperlink there. Go into the Teams space, go straight into the class materials, and you will find all sorts of things, including this PowerPoint. And then I'd like you to do some reading. So have a look at Bowden's chapter on creativity, on what creativity is, what it means. And there again, you've got a hyperlink to that. And look at Ken Robinson's video. He's talking about creativity and whether that can be taught or not. And again, you've got the hyperlink there. That should take you straight into that YouTube video. That's not appearing there, but it should work. And just thinking about next week, so our live session, our first live session is going to be at 10 AM on Thursday the 28th of January, so that's just a little bit over a week away. I'll start the session a few minutes beforehand, so I'll get there at about 9:45, and I will start the meeting. I'll give it a very clear title. Now, what's really important is if you get there before 9:45, don't start a meeting, because what happens then is that people join your meeting, they get a bit lost in your meeting, and they don't come to my meeting. So please don't start your own meeting. I would suggest you don't get there before 9:45. Get there about 9:45. I'll start. The meeting will be available then, and it will be very clearly flagged. Session 1, introduction to the module. So that's the meeting that you join. Join my meeting, not another meeting. Okay. We're scheduled for 3 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the meeting at just about 10 o'clock, and I'm going to finish at 12 o'clock, and there will be opportunities for you to ask questions at the end of my input. But I want you to use that first hour to set that aside for the preparatory activities I've given you to do. So you don't have to do those between 9 and 10 o'clock. You can do them whenever you like, but that 9 to 10 o'clock slot is there for you to do the preparatory activities. So when you join me at 10 o'clock, you'll be already familiar with the ideas of what creativity is and whether it can be taught or not. And if I ask you questions about that, you'll be full of beans, full of enthusiasm to answer those questions. Okay, but it's very important that you use this preparatory time and don't come to sessions without being informed, without following the preparatory activities that I have pointed out or I've required you to do. And that is it. So I'm going to see you on the 28th of January at 10 o'clock in the morning. Just a reminder, it's going to be on Teams. There's a link there, but I'll also put a link in this email, the email to which this video is attached, and I look forward very much to seeing you there. Have a great rest of the week. Good luck with getting all of your assignments submitted on time, and I'll see you next week.